needed to have faith. Jesus, when he went back to Nazareth, the Bible says he could not. He would not. He could not. Because Jesus on earth, he relied on the law of faith. And we said faith comes by hearing the word. That is why the Bible says Jesus was increasing his faith. He says he was growing in faith. He was growing in character. They said sometimes when they were looking for Jesus, as it was a tradition, he was busy studying the scriptures. Because Jesus needed faith just like you and I. And faith comes by hearing the word. That is why Jesus was studying the Bible. So child of God, you need to study the Bible. Because the laws of the Spirit need faith. And faith, which is the power behind the spiritual, it comes by the word. That is why the devil doesn't care how much you go to church. The devil doesn't care how much you pray, so long as he stops you from studying the word. Because he knows if you don't study the word, you will not have the force behind the spiritual. The whole week you are not studying the word, but you spend 8 hours on TikTok, and 12 hours on Facebook, and 3 hours on Instagram, and 5 hours on X, but 0 hours on the way. The devil is keeping you busy. And let me tell you about artificial intelligence. They say when you search for something, they see what you like, and now they start popping up the stuff that you like. You wonder, I was searching this thing, why is it that these things are popping up? And it is the things that you love. That is how the devil is stealing your time. So he's keeping you busy because he knows the more you study the word, the more faith you will have. And the more faith you will have, he says the challenges will be bigger. But the bigger the challenges, the bigger the victory. And the bigger the victory, the bigger the glory God receives. So let me tell you why the devil stops you from studying the word. He does not want God to receive the glory. But if you don't study the word, don't ask anymore. Why is it my life is stagnant? If you don't study the word, don't ask anymore. Why is my faith small? Your faith will not increase if you don't increase with the word. And we said the devil with his lies has come in the house of God and has planted the lies. Therefore the children of God, they are rejecting prosperity. But we see a man of God, the Apostle John. He was walking with Jesus. He saw the miracles of Jesus. Actually, in fact, there are things that Jesus did not do with everybody, but he would just choose Peter, James, and John. So even when Moses and Elijah came down from the supernatural and they were covered by the cloud, the Apostle John was there. So the Apostle John was a powerful man spiritually. That is why even God wanted, when God wanted to reveal what was going to happen in the future, the Bible says he called on the Apostle John and he showed him the future. So he was very successful spiritually. He walked with Jesus. He saw Jesus raise the dead. And this is the man who was proud about the love of Jesus. When he talks about himself, he said the apostle that Jesus loved. He knew that God loved him. When you want to know about love, you must read the books of John. This is the apostle who says, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believes in him. This is the apostle of love. This is the same apostle who says God does not have love, but God is love. So this man spiritually he was very successful. But now he writes a letter later in his life, and he's now an old man. He says, I walked with Jesus. But beloved, I've got a secret to tell you. It's not enough just to be a prayer warrior. It's not enough just to be an evangelist who preaches. You bring millions to church. You bring millions to the kingdom. But you are not prosperous. It's not enough just to be a prayer warrior. It's not enough just to be an evangelist who preaches. You bring millions to church. You bring millions to the kingdom. But you are not prosperous. You have got no money. The apostle